Hello there, X-Men fans! Troy to the Max Extreme here!
Ghost Hunter Dave!
Dinosaur Neil!
And together, we are the Imperius Rex-Men!
So which one of these are we going to drop in Troy's foot?
All of them!
Oh my god. Look at this. We actually got Japanese steel.
Well, they might be. They might have been made in a mall. We're not entirely sure.
The rest is us just really
Examining
taking
the
a look at
sword.
these swords. You don't normally have swords to play with.
Oh boy.
We should probably put them down before someone is hurt. But I feel like we might need to grab them for emphasis as the
Keep
show
them
goes
close.
on. Absolutely. Troy, you cut the top off his can for me with that sword?
Let me just bite it off.
Oh,
You don't bite them off when you got swords here.
I saw a guy on the internet rip this whole top thing off.
He's a mutant!
Dayspring. And I tried it and broke, tore a fingernail.
Oh my
Not
god.
as cool as I thought I was.
No.
no, you aren't.
No,
I
it is
do
cool.
this.
This. Axeman.
Oh.
X-Men.
Oh,
Axeman.
Dos Equis.
Oh!
Oh, I'm gonna really let you down.
Blood Moon Rebel.
Should have started with you. Probably should apologize for the last episode. Went a little long. We had a little too much to drink. Troy needed a adrenaline shot to his heart afterwards, I think.
Yep.
And Neil needed to be muzzled and carried off before he
true. Muddled
exclaimed.
meat sacks again.
Meat sacks.
Meat sacks.
One more time. But we've since rallied,
Yeah.
got a little rest in, and we are ready for tonight's big tourney. Big tourney event.
Oh, are we?
You better believe we are. We read 10 of swords, X of swords, whatever it is.
10 of swords. I've heard it's definitively 10 of swords.
The all-encompassing X-Men line event that took the world by a storm?
Storm's in it.
That's what I meant to say.
Took it by a sword.
There we go. Yeah.
Everyone got a sword.
Everyone got a sword. Everyone gets swords.
Except Nightcrawler.
Who really wanted
the
a
Really wanted to
swordsman.
use a sword.
Or Shatterstar. Any sword-wielding X-Men not
Not
included.
here. Nope. Unless you're Wolverine, who has swords for hands, and then he gets an extra sword.
Yeah. Before we get too far into that, just a real quick update on the gala. As you can see, we are getting closer. Troy has full pants at
I
this
have
point.
full pants on.
By the next episode, he may have lost the sandals.
No promises.
No promises. But just a quick update on it. The mutants have a planet now, as you may have heard, and there has been a murder and treachery in the air.
Yes.
Do you know who got murdered?
I can't remember. There's a lot that happens in this book.
I'm not talking about X of Swords. I'm talking about the Hellfire Gala.
No.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to spoil it for you. You tune in
Good.
next time.
Good.
Sweet.
It's not terribly important.
Great.
All right. But before we get too far in, our guy on the red carpet, the mutant red carpet, Power of X-Men himself, Paul. The other Paul.
Other Paul.
Yep. Dayspring, his mutant name. We're going to check in with him one last time before the big event, because he was able to speak with Hellions writer, Zeb Wells.
My lordy.
He wrote some issues of this. He wrote some issues in the gala itself.
My God.
So this is right from the horse's mouth.
What you got for us there, Paul? Let's try to...
Oh my. Well, let me get him on the horn.
Oh! Sorry, I was just trying to fart.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, get those out before we get in there. Embarrassing us. Paul, what do you got for us?
Let's talk about the Hellfire Gala, because
Please.
I do think that I just could not be more excited about this thing. This was an idea that Jerry Duggan had that kind of gets filtered through the really special way that X-Men comics are being written right now, which is this X Slack that we have, where all the writers are on there just constantly churning stories and ideas with each other. And it has been very special to me during the pandemic to just be having this sort of social structure. And then B, just seeing these things take on a life of their own. And Jerry just having this idea of oh, there's going to be this event. If anyone else wants to be involved in it, they can. And I don't know what I can tease, but just seeing suddenly the artists are contributing, the editors are being like, okay, well, this stuff you want to do is much more work for us, but let's do it. And then it's just like in the last couple of weeks, you start seeing art coming in and you start seeing what everyone has put together. And that's when I made that tweet where I was saying that like people aren't ready for this, because I thought when Jerry pitched it that it was a good idea and something that I would like to be involved in. And now I'm thinking that Jerry deserves like a massive raise and might be a genius, because I think it's going to make such a big splash.
I'm speechless because we are so excited for the Hellfire Gala.
Goes up to 10 on the Met Gala of it, and then we go a couple notches past 10. So and that's all I can say about that.
That's it.
All I can say about that. But if you're into that shit, you are going to lose your mind. I will say is the looks.
So I'm letting you know that everyone in the X community is so excited for what you guys are doing. And I love that Jerry came with the idea and everything.
Yeah. And what I do love about it is that it will deliver. Like people that are excited about it, and for the reasons they're excited, it is going to deliver on all of those things.
Whew. Oh, did you get it out yet? Oh, God. Is your mutant power absorbing Neil's alcohol content from the last?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Your blood level. It's awesome.
Oh, God.
Meat sack. But that's cool to hear. And props to Mr. Dugan for kicking off this whole extravagant event.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool. Maybe we can get ourselves into that X Slack.
Get us into that X Slack.
Maybe we need to bring them into the Discord.
There we go.
Discord. I think
Love
that's
it.
where it's at. It's all in the Discord now. Slack's old news. Come on, guys. We're the future.
Not them.
But yes, enough about that. We got a tournament to get to. The main event.
We do.
The X of Swords. 22 issue crossover, streaming from Dawn of X. Guys, what do we think of this thing?
X of Swords, huh? 22
10.
issues.
Yep. Incorporates all the X-Men titles. We have your X-Men, your X-Factor, your Wolverine, X-Force, Marauders, Hellions, New Mutants, Cable, and Excalibur. Along with three Wolverine claws worth of oversized Hickman-penned X of Swords issues entitled Creation, Stasis, and Destruction.
Wow.
Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. It was a lot of swords.
It was less swords and more pages. I opened this thing up on Comixology, and the total page count was over 700. And I'm like, I'll never do this. I will not get this done.
It was a tournament.
I did.
Oh my God.
I did get it done.
You're
Nice.
crowned victor of the tournament. Of reading this book. Of doing the bare minimum of what we need to do for the show.
I feel like that's still applaudable.
Absolutely. To mutants.
My experience in reading it was I read this in 3 days, and it made me never want to read again.
It was a lot. 22 issues for an event is a lot to ask. It is a big ask. Because I was trying to think of like an event that was as big in one little thing, and I couldn't think of one off the top of the dome. Because like if you look at Infinity,
yeah,
it had a lot in there. Another Hickman kind of event? Like, is this like a big...
Okay, this
franchise
is a weird
event.
event. Yeah. Because most events, there's the event.
Right.
And
like
then
your
there's
House of M or something.
And then there's the tie-ins. This thing is all that event.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say any of these are tie-ins, unless you want to say those 3 Hickman-penned issues are the event, which, if you only read those, you're not going to get a whole lot out of it.
I would say you'd get 0 out of
it. Yeah. I also will give them credit on the fact that I didn't ever feel like any of this was just complete filler. No. There were parts that I thought were more important than others, and parts that I thought you could have maybe truncated some of these issues into like one issue, but I felt like it was all part of the story. It wasn't like there was a separate story going on and then they gave us a couple pages of this and then they went back to their own story. I feel like every X title stopped in their tracks and moved exclusively to telling this story.
Yes, I would say that. Could I say something else?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay. So, this whole event here, deeming itself 10 of swords, has actually way more swords in it than 10.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That's not what I have a problem with.
They don't even have a full 10 swords in the initial 10 swords.
No.
They have 9.
Do they?
Yeah.
Are you sure? I thought they had
Because
11.
I thought the 10th sword came at the end.
I think
with
that
the
was
big sword.
I thought that was an extra sword because I think they have.
An extra sword?
I thought somebody
Long game paying
had
off.
2 swords in it,
Someone does have 2 swords.
so that would make 11 because there was 10 people.
No, I think there was only 9 people.
Are you Now I don't know.
I don't know either.
What I'm trying to say is
Maybe we should regroup, rally, reread it.
Oh God! Now I don't know. So you have the initial setup to what's going on. This Mortal Kombat-esque thing that's thrown down.
Oh man.
But it with Otherworld.
Yes.
Which took me everything to not say Outworld.
Yep.
Which is a Mortal Kombat thing. And you have the person running the show, old Saturnine. I have still no idea what's going on with her.
no.
No.
At all. Could not follow, like, if she's that powerful, why does she fear some things, and why is she the way she is?
Why are you the way you are?
And so there's that. Then you have many pages of setup for people to get their swords.
Oh man.
So you have a lot of that. And then on
It's
the
a quest
side,
before it's a tournament.
it's a quest
It is.
before a tourney. And then on the other side, you see the other team from
Otherworld.
build up their team.
Technically, they're not from Otherworld. They're from
They're from
Araco.
all over.
Araco.
Araco.
Not all of them are.
How many swords are there?
I think there's 20 total. But,
Well-
not all of them are for Araco.
Well, not
Some
all
of them
the
are-
one team is from Krakoa either.
See?
Maybe we should start over.
Anyway, what I'm trying to get at is you have this big, long, expansive chunk in the middle, which I feel at the very end means nothing. Because really, the swords do nothing.
They
There
don't
is
do
only
shit.
one sword that means anything, and it's the
not
trick
one.
one.
Yeah.
The one that you're like, you think you're clever, Hickman. You got one over on me.
It was pretty clever.
It was pretty clever.
I'm chalking that up to a long game. Long game
And
point.
We'll move
Yeah.
to it in just a second here.
Okay.
But I feel like the whole build-up and making this a bloated 22-issue thing, and you expect like this big clash of every team's champion, these two teams, champions, going head-to-head, and I found even the heads-to-head more not what I expected. In a bad way.
Those were the montages that I expected of them getting the swords, actually. Can we talk about what the setup for this thing was? Because
Who knows?
Frankly, I don't know.
Because I don't know either. This went on so long, I forgot more than what actually happened in it.
So-
I forgot how to drive after...
Well, you made it here in great time. You must have been flying. The initial setup is we get a big dive into Apocalypse's backstory.
Yeah.
With the original 4 horsemen, which were
Yes.
his children,
Yes.
that he had with Genesis, his wife, and they all lived happily on the combined world of Araco and Krakoa.
Yeah.
And then that big old Twilight Sword split the country in twain,
Yeah.
and it opened a portal to Ameneth? Ammon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where a bunch of demons came out.
Yeah.
And they just tore it up.
He tore ass, yes.
Yep. So they fought him off as long as they could, and Apocalypse ended up going to Earth, I guess. And he was like, I'm gonna go find help, bye! You guys got it? You good? And they keep holding off the demons for millennia, it seems like.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm gonna evolve, get really big and strong, and I'm gonna build an army. I'm gonna come back and help
I'll
you.
be so fit.
I am gonna be so fit. Oh my god. Did he get sidetracked somewhere?
I don't know.
What happened?
Just must have loved it on Earth.
Yeah.
Ruling it
God.
for a little bit and then not coming around for another 2,000 years.
Can we get a montage of Apocalypse enjoying Earth with raindrops keep falling on my head playing? And then do that Spider-Man 2 freeze frame?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah. So, from what I gathered, it was all like out of sight, out of mind until the summoner came and brought Arakko with him. Like, was Arakko on Earth until then?
I guess so, just wandering around.
But then he came and like, oh yeah, that place that I was gonna go protect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
That's the disconnect where I'm like,
So
did that just come out of nowhere?
I think it's the other way around where everybody else left and Apocalypse stayed back.
Whatever the case.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Apocalypse goes in, finds out his family that he left to hold fort are pissed.
Yeah, a little bit.
And his wife, this is a spoiler, but I'm just going to say it because I'm going to forget it if I don't. His wife is leading the charge of the demons because the demons are controlled by a mystical helmet
Yeah.
called Armageddon,
Yeah.
where whoever wears it controls the horde, but it also corrupts them.
Yeah.
Glad we put that out there because
Yes.
I guarantee we would have forgotten.
Yeah, I don't even think that's that much of a spoiler, is
No.
it? I don't know. I can't remember a lot. The more you say this, like, I kind of vaguely remember that.
Did I have in this? Did I dream that? Was that in Sandman? So Apocalypse takes a team into Arakko through Otherworld, because the only way to get to it is Otherworld, which is almost like the nexus of reality, right?
Yes,
like
how
the
I
world tree.
understood it.
And Saturnine is the queen of that, and she decides what goes. So they get ambushed when they get to Arakko. Apocalypse gets injured. All these guys are ready to invade Earth. They're chomping at the bit to get in the gates, and she's like, hey, let's hold a tournament.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll let you in. I'll let whoever wins this tournament. I have to deem the victor, and you guys have to battle in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Fight.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But get your swords first.
Yeah. An important thing to note while this happens and their team goes to Otherworld and comes back is that there is a problem that if you were to get killed in Otherworld,
If you were to get halved.
if you were to get halved in Otherworld, you can't get brought back to life properly. You are corrupted from the process they do in Krakoa.
Yeah, which
Because-
you saw with Rockslide.
Yeah, because the Otherworld is like the nexus of reality, so you don't know which you're resurrecting.
Right.
Yeah.
It could be any you from a multitude of parallel dimensions.
Yeah.
Right. And that is what essentially the stakes are revolved around for this whole tournament. Because it all takes place in Otherworld. So they're all like, we got to pick these people, but if you go and you die, you're dead.
Yeah, you're
like
done.
there's no coming back.
Yeah.
And the X-Men are like, we've been dying and coming back for years before this resurrection shit happened.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Oh. Oh, that is gonna fizz.
Oh, no, Troy, not mechanics. I don't think this is good. Sheathe your swords.
Oh.
Nope. Keep it in. Oh. You did it.
Well.
I'll just cleverly edit it.
Good.
So, should we get on to the swords?
Yes.
They
let's get on
figure
to
out the
swords.
rules. Omniverse Magistrex Saturnine. That's her name.
Yeah.
And she looks just like Emma Frost.
Yes.
To the point where they don't even put Emma Frost in this because I think it would just confuse people.
Very
For
much
So
sure.
what's she doing? No.
Yeah.
But she tells them, or actually Polaris receives like a psychic message. She becomes like a conduit for some reason.
Yeah.
And reads off this poem, and it just gives all these little hints and clues about what sword it is and who should wield it, and they piece it together pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very quickly.
Like,
It's like, that one's me.
yep.
It's like,
These X-Men are clever.
yeah, I call that one.
Mhm.
Well.
I'll take the God Killer.
Yeah.
But then they pick the mutants, and then they're like, all right, I gotta go get my sword. And Magic is like, got it. It's the one that I always have.
Yeah.
So she's like sitting there waiting for everybody else to catch up.
Yeah.
Oh, quick thing on
I think
that.
you have the exact same
Okay,
thing I want to say.
so they have this ring set up in which they all have to stand around, and when they stand in their little circle around this ring
Yep.
with their sword, it glows. And there are panels where they cut back, and they're all just still standing there or sitting there with their swords. Like, do you guys really need to be sitting there standing there for this entire time?
If I move the sword, it unplugs. and
I
it
guess
turns
so.
off.
I don't know.
So, like, Magic and Wolverine get theirs first, and they're kind of just chilling out in their little, sitting in their circle.
Yep.
Are all of these people on the adventure at the same time? Because if not, that'd be a very long wait for, like, each person to get back one by one and be like,
Yeah.
now I'm here.
That's how I read it, but it makes a lot more sense and it's all happening at once.
Yeah.
I was like, are they waiting days?
That's what I thought.
Well, what's funny, too, is there are some sword getting things that, like, they don't need to have a huge thing behind them. There's, I think, like, Gorgon just walks up with his sword, and it's just there, he's like, well, what? What?
Yeah.
It says,
Wolverine's
what?
like, I went to hell.
So you guys got off easy, Magic.
Yeah.
I had to go to hell.
Yeah.
Again.
And poor Douglas is like, I don't even know how to fight. This thing, I can be a sword, I guess.
Luckily, maybe it won't come into play whatsoever.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of time spent on the sword gathering.
Yes.
Which, as I was reading it, I'm like, get to the fucking tournament.
Yes.
But I did, like, looking back, I'm like, but I appreciate that they got to have, like, these little fun individual quests, too.
I do.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with you there, but, like, at the end of the day,
Maybe
it
I
meant
wish they were
fucking
more...
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. The whole lead up to what got to the... Let me start over. The whole lead up to the inevitable Battle of the Wits, Battle of the Swords,
Uh-huh.
was better than the outcome. I do like the clever twist at the end. I will give it credit for that. But otherwise, the swords are useless.
A lot of them break. And you're just like, well, that's the end of that.
Some of them break, and then you
It's
see
not
them
high
later.
quality
not
steel like
broken.
this.
Yep. Yep.
Where to put it.
Like some of them, like you spent all that time getting swords on both ends of this battle, and then it's not even a sword fight.
No. Few of them are.
And I'm like, this is horseshit. I came here to see death and stablery.
Yeah.
Then look at your own feet.
These mangled messes.
And then, like, it got to the Captain Britain stuff,
Oof.
which...
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I thought I knew a thing or two, and that is incorrect. I knew absolutely
anything?
nothing about Captain Britain at all. Like,
Yeah.
so Brian, or is it Brian Braddock?
Yeah, Brian Braddock.
He's
yeah.
not a mutant, is he?
No.
So like, that's I'm like, so it's just not at all X-Men stuff. Like, he can just be there, I guess.
Yeah. I don't... all I know from my gatherings is that before Secret Wars 2015, there was a Captain Britain Corps.
Yeah.
And I think the reset of the universe got rid of it. So, like, this coming back in here, the Captain Britain Corps, is like a big deal. To someone.
Yeah.
Not me. Because I have no idea, like, why this Saturnine person, if she's so powerful, like, seemed to fear the Captain Britain Corps. Like,
Were they her guards also at one point?
I don't fucking know. I don't get it. Like, why are you all powerful and you can control this shit like you're some fucking big ass Shang Tsung or something? But then you're scared of a fucking Brit. That's Like, I like Captain
What does
Britain.
it all mean, Basil?
I like Captain Britain as a character, but like, I have not kept up with him just besides the prior knowledge of that I know who he is.
Right.
Like, he chose the amulet instead of the sword, so that made him worthy to be the champion.
Mhm.
And that's why his sister, I think,
Betsy.
but Betsy. So like, what's up with Psylocke? Because that's supposed to be Betsy Braddock in another person's body. Is that not the case anymore?
No. Didn't you pay attention to the last episode?
No.
Okay. Well, we drunkenly stumble over it.
Damn.
It is Betsy in her old body now.
Okay. All right. All right. I'll take that as a loss.
All right.
I took that as an L on my side.
All right.
All right.
Krakoa,
Chalk one up.
0.
Yeah.
Troy Thuck.
Yeah.
So, obviously, there's a learning curve. There's an X-Men learning curve that we haven't quite climbed the top of yet.
Yeah.
But the tournament's going on regardless.
Mhm.
Of course.
And all the competitors are gathered to Otherworld for a feast.
Yes. I don't know, like, if all of these characters are, like, previously canon in something else, or if they're all made up for this.
The Unbeaten.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was cool as hell.
Yeah, no matter what, she's gonna win.
That's
So
just
it's like,
her
well,
name.
that doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, but I thought, like, with that, they'd find a clever way to make her lose, like, with the one-on-one battle with them. And, like, the first battle you see is, like, her versus Betsy Braddock,
Yeah.
and it turns Betsy Braddock to glass instantly,
Shatters
and
her, and
shatters
she's
her.
fucking dead.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That's
But
the way it's gonna be.
that
That
was, like,
kind of turning.
That was the first fight, and I was like, oh shit, the stakes are pretty high. All the ones after that, completely different.
Yeah.
The next one, I think, is a marriage.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like,
Douglas
what?
marrying the only person he can't understand, or
Yes.
something like that.
I like the relationship between those two,
Yeah.
but I thought that was a very bizarre thing, because I felt just as lost as Douglas.
How is this a tournament?
I don't know!
and it only goes from there.
And how did anyone get points for any of this?
Yes.
I don't know.
Like, the whole point system was also garbage to me, because
It was as if we were watching Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yep.
Like, so Saturnine is just racking up points for Araco.
Mm-hmm.
Racking up for Araco.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's at one point like 18-4.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even think you can get that many points in this game.
Fucking Wolverine just dragging the team down.
And like, what the fuck? And then later on, you have the white, what's
The
his
white
name?
sword.
The white sword versus
Gorgon.
Gorgon.
Oh my god.
Which was an awesome standoff, and then Gorgon ends up getting like 13 points. And I'm like, well, then how does that work? Like, I get it, you want to even the odds.
Mhm.
But like,
That gets him to a stalemate.
that gets them to a stalemate, so you have your one-on-one at the very last round. But I felt like it was a cop-out. Like, I felt it would have been more tension if it's a little more back and forth.
Yeah.
Rather than just like, Gorgon just got 18 points out of nowhere.
Well, that
Gorgon's a fucking beast.
He is so awesome.
He's a beast, I get it, but it's like, he didn't tear through the white sword, he just tore through these goons.
Yeah.
Well, the White Sword's goons.
It's true.
He's
guess
vouching
they're-
for him.
I guess they're as good as any other
And-
goon.
Yeah.
So not
It's not
only
Bob the Goon.
No, God, Bob, God.
For shooting Batman, right?
For shooting Batman, right?
So not only were the points arbitrary, whose line is it anyway style, points don't matter, but like there were even some where it was like Storm and Wolverine were pitted against each other in a drinking game.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they both just ended up getting a point each for it. And you're just like,
But then
What are
Wolverine,
the fucking stakes?
But then Wolverine had to go in and fight right after that, and he just got his ass whooped because he was trashed. Which Wolverine doesn't get drunk, right?
I didn't think so.
Maybe
It takes
this
a
is
lot
mystical
for me.
otherworld.
no,
Wolverine.
he made a comment about that because I think it's something about his powers were subdued, his
Oh,
healing factor
yeah.
was subdued. So he's like, I'm usually not drunk as shit. This is gonna suck.
Usually not like this.
Yeah.
I can usually get all three claws up. It's never happened before. How about that giant crocodile?
Pog? Is that his name?
Essentially a four-armed crocodile etrigan.
Like dumb Ectrigan.
Yes.
Yeah. This is a fucking weird book.
Yeah,
It is. So we haven't even gotten how weird these tournaments get, where there is like a full-on dance-off, and there's like a catwalk runway show, which I think Wolverine is on both of them.
Yeah.
They just keep bringing Wolverine in, and he's just losing. He's leaking points
Yeah.
for Krakoa, left and right.
That was a pretty... I would say that montage, it was probably like 3 pages of montage things of just the most ridiculous things you've ever seen.
I imagined a spelling bee in there somewhere.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Spell Saturnine. No.
Araco gets the point. I really wanted to make our own Imperius Rex Axe of Swords tournament. But I feel like we're all too drunk. It's not going to end well.
And we do have swords.
We
3
do
swords.
have swords.
Stand against that wall.
Wolverine's fight with Summoner was great.
Yeah.
They have this just epic battle over like all these different realms, and he kills Summoner, and then she's like, Summoner wins. It was a fight to the death. The one who dies wins.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck? What is this shit?
Yeah.
As it winds down, Cable is getting his ass whipped.
Yeah.
And he cries like a bitch to his mom and dad.
Yep.
And then Scott and Jean, being good parents, are like, I'm gonna get back my son.
Yeah.
And they take off. And the Quiet Council's like, no, you can't do it.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, well, then I'm forming an X-Men.
Oh.
And they make an X-Men.
Yeah.
And we got the X-Men back.
Yeah.
So Jean and Scott lead the way. They just go head on into Otherworld to get their kid. Their like 28-year-old son, Cable, their baby. Once they get Cable, they teleport over to the Sword space station.
Yeah.
Which we were introduced to earlier when Cable got his sword.
Yeah. In Cable's issue.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they light that baby up and drive it into Otherworld.
Yes.
And that is the 10th and or 11th sword. We haven't checked the log. But I thought that was great. I was like, okay, nice work, Hickman.
That was very
That's
good.
a sword, all right.
Yeah. I did, so...
That's an acronym of a sword.
The whole thing with Cable's issue where he got the sword I found odd, but I did
Because he had the sword.
Yeah, because he had his like weird key sword that powered it for whatever. I'm like, why is it a sword a key? Fucking Kingdom Hearts type shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I found it odd, but I did call the ending. It's like, oh, they're gonna unleash that whatever was on that shit and teleport it down there.
Yeah.
To
like
fuck them all up.
Yeah.
This alien race,
Yeah,
basically.
but I didn't put it together that they're also on a sword space station and they're gonna stab it with the fucking sword space station.
Yeah.
Fucking
I'm like,
great.
that was very clever.
Oh yeah. And you gotta leave it.
Very clever.
You gotta leave it to the best constant throughout all of these X-Men books, Cyclops.
Oh,
who is
my
just
God.
the best character hands down in all of these, in my opinion. He's so earnest about doing what's right.
Very cocksure
Oh
about
my
himself,
god,
and it
I
pays
love
off.
it.
Mhm.
It does.
Yeah.
Love it.
You know who'd make a good Cyclops?
Who's that?
Tom Cruise.
Oh, maybe so. Okay.
Imagine that.
Okay.
Just
All right.
that fucking heart and that energy. Tom Cruise as
Okay.
Scott Summers.
All right. All right.
God.
Can we see a pair of goggles on a Tom Cruise right now?
I'll see if I can get the editor
All right.
on that. Amidst all this carnage going on,
Yeah.
tournaments, challenges right and left, I would be remiss if I didn't toss this over to a friend of the show, Jason Auld, unicycle enthusiast,
Yes.
who's been a big supporter, and
yeah.
he whipped up his own little X of Swords video
Oh,
here,
did he? Okay.
yes, which he's
Yeah.
going to share with us. I'm going to toss it over to Jason right here. Go get it. Nicely done, Jason. Thank you.
Impressive.
They probably could have used Nightcrawler in this tournament. But then again, nothing matters in the tournament. So it probably would have been a tournament to unteleports.
Yes.
I mean, near the end of this, we would also be remiss if we don't bring up Apocalypse versus
Genesis.
Armageddon.
Genesis.
Armageddon / Genesis, really.
Yes. Yeah.
Annihilation?
Oh,
Or
it is
Armageddon?
Annihilation.
Whatever it fucking is.
His wife.
Yes,
They have a
yeah.
marital spat.
Yes.
Mm.
Pretty rad. Because, like, there's an issue, I think, even before the tournament even starts, where they go take a walk together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's, like, a great build-up for this final moment right here.
Yeah.
Where she's been, like, almost fully corrupted by the mask again at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants, you can tell she wants it off. And eventually it's taken off of her. But then, because she is defeated,
It goes to the person
who beat it, which is Apocalypse. And then it, like, sucks onto his face.
You'll be like, maybe step back.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
I don't know how it works, but
I like how he rid himself of it, though.
He
Yeah.
surrendered.
yeah, that was pretty rad. Like, it's like Apocalypse is doing some great shit in this book.
Yeah.
He is.
Oh, yeah.
Hands down. I mean, he's got a suit. He's got him in a suit. He's got him.
Not in this book.
Not in this book.
You got to pay extra
Previous.
for that.
Yeah. You got to pay extra. But then he's also just he's one of the most clever participants in this whole tournament. Like, he gets to the very end of this, he can be corrupted absolutely, and he still thinks like, nope, I know how to win. I'm just gonna surrender myself,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's gonna be all off, and then I'm
Horde's done.
yeah.
Get out of here. Earth closed.
Yeah. and what's great is, like, even Saturnine didn't expect that to happen. You clever son of a bitch at
Son
the
of a
end.
bitch. What I also found odd in this is, like, so at one point she's putting the glass puzzle piece together that was once Betsy Braddock,
Mhm.
and then she puts it together and, like, is astonished.
Oh!
She's like,
Betsy!
"Oh!" You didn't see this coming from, like, 5 pieces ago?
And also, you saw Betsy shatter. You're literally putting her back together.
You made your fish servant sweep her up into a box.
Yeah. I mean,
What
maybe
did you think it was going to be? The Tin Man?
I don't know. Maybe it's because that she was in, like, full Captain Britain garb in it instead. I don't know. But I thought she already had it beforehand.
Instead of her previous Captain
I
Britain
can't remember whatsoever.
Yeah. They lost me in the Excalibur issues.
Yeah.
Like, for the most part, it was an enjoyable read. It was long. I got my $75 worth, or however much this collection cost.
Yeah.
I remember looking at the price tag and being like, what the fuck? For this? For this miniseries? And upon reading it, which this took me like 2 weeks to read, I didn't shotgun it like you guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, money, worth it. Like,
This did take me 2 weeks. to
Yes. However much it cost, that was fine. That was what I would pay. I would almost pay that to not have to read it again. I also loved where Mr. Sinister leads his Hellions into Otherworld
yeah.
just on the premise that, like, maybe they could cheat and win the tournament before it even starts. And they, like, go into the worst realm and meet this weird group of, like, almost Cenobite Hellraiser type of creatures that just, like, butcher his team. And on top of that, he's having all these horrible cape woes around him, where people, like, want his cape and he has to trade his cape, and then he's got, like, this raggedy ass, like, shroud that he's...
Like, to apologize for my appearance, I did have a better cape. I like at one point, too, it's like, I like your tassels. It's plumage.
Yeah. I don't know where that all wound up, because it seemed very kind of a strange cliffhanger where his issue ended up. I'm kind of curious to read the rest of the Hellions and see what's going on with that.
How he just got them all lost and starved to death, essentially.
Havoc loses an eye because they had to, like, give it to a troll to cross a bridge somewhere. So you were talking about the Apocalypse showdown there. One of our friends of the show, Discord member Josh the Link, owns some original art from this. He was a big fan of this artist, and he has like 4 or 5 pages, including that, like, killing blow that Apocalypse does to his wife.
It's so awesome.
Very cool.
That's
I
like
love
one
seeing
thing.
original art.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't have like in my collection is any like original page work that I would love, but like I feel like by the time I would get the money to have any of that, all the good pages would be gone, and I have like some weird dialogue page where they're just like sitting back and like.
You get a Todd McFarlane newscaster page.
No. But if somebody does want to gift me an Apocalypse in a Suit page,
Oh my god.
that is going to go in a very expensive frame. Expensive as the suit.
I have a question for you. Apocalypse refers to himself as this weird A symbol.
Yeah.
Almost like a Prince symbol.
Yeah.
How do you read that when you see that come up? Every time it confuses me for a minute.
It does for me
I'm
too.
like,
'Cause
what
I'm like,
the fuck?
do I need to say this differently? Like, it's in Krakoan,
Do I
right?
say like apocalypse?
I don't know.
Apocalypse.
Yeah.
I
I'm not
honestly,
sure.
I had to read this so fast, I just skipped those word bubbles altogether, so I have no idea.
Those, you mean like all the word bubbles?
Yeah, pretty much.
So by the end of all this, like the major ramifications, I guess, of this giant 22-issue crossover, the mutants now own Sword, the space station,
Yeah.
which they do put to use in the upcoming Hellfire Gala.
Mm.
Betsy Braddock, I think, still dead?
I thought she was alive at the end.
I thought also she was alive.
Okay,
as a Captain
maybe she's
Britain.
alive, but she's not the same, right? Because she died in Otherworld.
But she's not a mutant. I don't think.
Betsy is.
Is she?
Yeah. Betsy's a mutant.
I just figured since Saturnine put her back together, it was just fine.
Yeah. I thought.
Who knows?
I don't know. All I know is that there's a goose in this, and it's a Captain Britain.
There's also a little
Amazing.
frog Captain Britain.
So the Crapton Britain Corps.
Got him.
Freudian slip there. They're back. I don't care.
Me
Yeah.
neither. They're not even mutants.
They're not mutants.
No.
And Apocalypse stays with
Yeah.
his wife and his children,
Yeah.
apart from Death, who's dead.
Yeah.
Who didn't see that coming?
Yeah.
And the Krakoa has accepted Araco onto Earth, and now they have a giant island full of mutants, and they don't know what to do with. So big old trade-off there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Major ramifications.
And there's also some seats open in the Quiet Council now because Apocalypse is out of there, and I
Yeah.
believe Jean left.
Yeah,
Okay.
because she agreed to go with Scott. She's
Yeah.
like, they're like, anybody who goes now vacates their seat.
You're out of the council.
Yeah, you're out.
You can be loud now.
Yeah.
You can use your outside voice. So I guess that's it. That's it. We'll get some more next time as we wind this down. I'll tell you what, as we read the Hellfire Gala,
Yeah.
I'm also going to read the last couple issues of X-Men to get us there, because I'm interested in that. I want to see Hickman's run through.
Sound good?
Yeah?
Sounds
yeah.
good. I, to finalize this X of Swords thing, didn't like it very much.
No?
I feel it didn't really do much for the X-Men, really.
No.
I felt like the journey for them meant nothing, and this book was overlong and bloated.
The
Didn't
end.
care for it. The end.
Well, I'm glad that as we started this big old X-Men binge, that we could take you from not liking X-Men to really liking X-Men to leaving you right back to where you began.
Yeah, I'm back to square one, guys.
Oh, sweet.
It's a Hickman circle
Oh
graph.
my god. Soccer ball graph.
Neil, thoughts?
Oh my god, am extremely almost indifferent about it. Mostly, there are bits that I really did like. I have to say, throughout all these X-Men titles, the artwork is absolutely incredible.
The artwork's great.
That has not dipped at all, and I love it throughout. It's so good. But there are some really cool character moments in it. But yeah, the whole thing didn't really do a whole lot. Like, it was a lot of pages for really nothing. And the whole, like, the Saturnine thing, just, she's too, like, what the fuck? Like, I don't get why.
Yeah, what are your
Like,
motivations?
you're just like a multi-dimensional witch that just was bored or something is what it seemed like. And I'm like, I don't need that. Like, that just seems
I don't need that in my life.
I don't need that. No. But I think overall, I did like it, I would say, more than I disliked it.
As I was reading it, I was like, God, this is taking a while. Those were my initial thoughts. But by the end of it, I appreciated the audacity of it. Like, I'd heard X of Swords, this big crossover, and I was like, okay, all right, I'll get to it. And what it ended up being was not even close to what I was picturing going in. To the point where, like, when they get to the tournament, I'm like, okay, we're ready, swords out. And then it was like immediately like, okay, swords back in. What is this?
Yeah.
But like, I didn't hate it. I think I'll look back kind of fondly on it.
Okay.
For kind of surprising me. And I did hear, to all of our points, this was originally pitched as a much shorter crossover.
Yeah, you told me that.
And they made like an executive decision somewhere like, what if we like make it double that?
Do it, all of it.
And I think that probably hurt it. In fact, no probably about it. It would have been better if it was tighter. But I do appreciate that it all was X of Swords. It wasn't like...
Yeah, they took the entire X-Men line and did something with it. They aren't just doing shit over here on the side that meant nothing.
Right. Did it need to be? Probably not.
No.
But you also, like, they made that commitment, and, like, you really couldn't skip shit in this either. Like, you pretty much had to read the whole event. It's a double-edged sword, you could say. Not this one. This
Not that
one,
of course.
Smooth as a baby's bottom. Yeah. But it was a very interesting miniseries. Especially coming off of everything we've read.
Is it a maxi series?
Who knows what the fuck it was. Okay.
Yeah, let me silence my phone.
So I guess that's it. Tournament's over. Everyone can go home.
What did you think of X of Swords out there? Let us know in the comments down below. Was this an event that was tailor-made for you, the biggest X-Men fan in the world?
Let
us know.
When it became abundantly clear that they were doing a tournament, I was like, oh, okay, okay. And then when it became abundantly clear that the tournament and the swords were all bullshit, I was like, oh.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And then when it wrapped up, I was like, okay. I'm ready for the gala. And that's that.
When it wrapped up, I had a different okay. I'm like, okay.
Okay. I think this was a bit more of a Teeny Howard project than a Jonathan Hickman. Okay. I know he wrote like the big, like the X of Swords issues, but I feel like a lot of this kind of stemmed out of her Excalibur run. Okay. Which we've all admitted wasn't our favorite. So if you're an Excalibur fan, this is probably amazing.
It's so weird that like this part of like Excalibur like had very little to do with mutantum and what they're trying to do with the X-Men line.
Yeah.
And like this whole title, if you're an Excalibur fan, really probably pushed all your buttons. It's like, yeah, fuck yeah. But to like the main like me who just got off like a high of like a Hickman X-Men run, I'm just like,
fuck is this?
Yeah. This is back to weird fucking X-Men.
God damn it. But yeah, let's start a conversation in the comments down below what you thought of this title. Anything you gotta say, let it down below.
Yeah. Air your grievances.
Yeah, if you would like to join the live chat on it at all times while the issues come out, the Discord is where it's at. And you can get access to the Discord through our Patreon if you wish to do so.
That's right. Yeah. Any tier, any membership tier, anything helps. Helps keep the lights on here. Helps keeping us in these amazing gala ensembles, which is just a week away, fellas.
It's a week away.
I've been keeping up on it. It's been hard for me to keep my mouth shut.
Oh my god, so much action.
All the tea that's about to be spilled at this Hellfire Gala.
I honestly, even though I did not have a great run on this one, I'm looking forward to the gala stuff, and I have not yet even dipped into it at all.
All right.
So I'm
it's
ready.
What sparked this whole thing.
I know.
Like extravagant wardrobe. Let's do it.
If that's all that comes out of it, we did it.
That's an excuse. So yes, join us next week for our finale. We went all in on this.
Yeah.
This was going to be 3 episodes initially. And then we just got so intoxicated that it became 5.
We went full meat sacks, dead meat bodies, meat sacks, essentially. These are just mindless meat sacks. I don't care. I'm going to cut the shit out of them.
We did. All the meat sacks were out on display.
Boy, howdy, did we do that ever.
But yes, we're coming to our startling conclusion next week. So if you've been enjoying this so far, 1 left in us.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to take a break from X-Men. Everyone take a breather. A sigh of relief. But I have to say, I've had a real good time on this. Like, I haven't bought weekly comics since Hoxpox. And I've been buying them for Hellfire Gala.
Okay.
And it's been fun. I've been like,
right.
oh, this is cool. I'm going into the shop every Wednesday. I'm getting the X-Men books, and then I'm just grabbing a couple other things that catch my eye.
Wow.
And it's been a great time.
Wonderful.
Wonderful experience.
My
So
lordy.
I thank the X-Men for once again getting me back into it.
You hear that?
You
hear that?
The X-Men can do that for you too.
Changing lives.
Wow.
Changing lives.
Oh my.
All right, we need to
Slice
do
and
that
dice.
before
Oh my
my
God.
foot falls off.
Here, Troy, hold this for me.
No! But until next time, I have been Short of the Max Extreme.
Dinosaur Neil.
Ghost Hunter Dave.
We've been the Imperious Rexmen. And we'll see ya next week.
Oh, sorry. Hadn't tried it out yet. One more. This was like almost out of sight, out of mind until this.
Oh!
Oh! Oh!
That's all right.
Was that? What was that? I thought that was a bell.
That was my phone.
Oh, I thought it was a Wolverine bell.
Oh God.
I'm not pointing with the pointy end. Was that the sword or was that your phone? Whatever it was, I love it.